Hello everyone, my name is Lanu, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a league race. So this is our highlights from our race that we did in BRC. This is the start of a new season, so we're at IMOLA to start the season. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like button and be sure to subscribe for more content just like this. We try to make weekly league racing videos. What you're watching now is my qualifying lap. I'm in the Alfa Romeo. My teammate Sniper Hunter is... We've reunited for this season because we were teammates in Season 4, which was our first year in BRC. And then we parted ways for Season 5. And we've reunited in Season 6. And actually, we were in Alfa Romeo in Season 4 as well. So it's quite fitting that we've been given the random team selection of Alfa Romeo. And so that was quite nice. This lap felt really, really good. You can see there, Divine Stag just retiring from the session there. I think he was disqualified, wasn't he? We set a purple middle sector, but down into this final section, we just lose all of it. And we end up not going anywhere near as quickly as we'd have liked. But we come across the line, and that puts us up into P3. That's not where we stayed, and eventually we fell down to P8, and our teammate managed to get a P2. So he's starting on the front row just behind Touch Me Pope, which is going to be interesting off the start. And we get ready to go racing for 5 red lights, and we are underway. And as you can see, Dan the Tank alongside me did not get away well. He ended up spinning, and he collected A Master Gaming, I think. So that wasn't good, but there was contact up in front. Recu Justin made it 4 wide for the lead, and he got pushed onto the grass after, I think, Comic just sort of straight-lined it, and Sniper Hunter had nowhere to go. Pope didn't really get involved with that, but that caused the virtual safety car, and nothing really happened into the virtual safety car. So we skipped to the end of lap 1, where I think the leaders actually got drive-throughs for that virtual safety car. So they've obviously gone under the delta, so they go into the pits. One of them was my teammate, that's Sniper Hunter and Comic, both into the pits, which hands the lead directly to Touch Me Pope, who is an absolutely rapid driver, and once he has clean air, he's ready to go, and you can see there Q just trying to get past Tinky Winky, but he wasn't able to get the job done. We're just sitting behind watching this battle at the minute, as we've got to think about Recu Justin behind us, who has an 8-second penalty already on lap 4, as we skip ahead, and you see we have to react very, very fast to avoid the Mercedes of Q. We had a bit of a moment coming up the hill at Aqua Minerale here in Imola, which... yeah, it was a bit of a scary one because I thought I was going to go into the back of him, but it just sort of handed us P3, and you can see here Recu Justin. I thought he was going to go to the insides, but he went to the outside, so the Williams got ahead of us, but you can see he's got less than 10% ERS already on lap 5, which is quite interesting, as we come into this pretty difficult chicane. And it was a bit of a weird race because we were waiting for the rain to arrive. That's a mouthful. And we just sort of kept asking Mark when it was coming. You can see here Q getting past us. We let him pass there because we messed up the first chicane. So we didn't want to hold him up because I wanted him to go after Recu Justin, who was able to pass us at turn 1 just a couple of laps ago. And as you can see, Recu has a bit of a moment, just like what Q did a few laps ago, and that allows Q to come back at him. And into the chicane. This is where things get a little bit interesting. They make contact, and it's the slightest contact between me and Recu Justin, which spins him, unfortunately. Here it is in slow motion, and you can see frame by frame, just it's barely even a tap, and the car just goes around. And that's just how sensitive these F122 cars are, and that is quite unfortunate for us to be involved in an incident like that, but we carry on going. We're racing Q into the chicane, trying to do what he did on Recu Justin, but it's not possible. And in fact, we actually get A Master Gaming catch up for us a little bit there, as he's recovering from that first lap incident. He wasn't able to get the move done. But as you can see, it started to rain on lap 13, and so we were wondering when anyone was going to pit. I had a massive tank stop, and that allowed A Master Gaming to get right up past us. I didn't want to fight him through that corner. We almost took him out though, that was close, front wheel to rear wheel. And as you can see, he's caught up to the back of Q already, and we're struggling here on these cooling conditions as Q goes into the pits, and that will be crucial for later in the race. You'll see why in a little moment. And here we are, we're stuck behind A Master Gaming, just a lap or so after he went into the pits. And he's in AI for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's frowned upon in our league, but I get past him anyway because the AI is set to 60, so that was an easy move for us. Tyre wear, we're very, very high now, over 50%, nearly 60 on the rears, so we were really thinking about coming into the pits, and we dived into the pits on lap 16. This was when we switched over to the inters, and it would stay wet for the rest of the race. So we had to think about where we were going to come out in relation to everyone else. Now Sniper Hunter, after his drive-through, he was recovering. He made a little bit of a mistake. He had a little bit of a spin, but he was up into P4 provisionally. And so he was still pushing on. He was yet to make a stop though. And we were exiting the pits. Little did I know we were going to be ahead of Q. And so we had to defend as hard as we could. We were waiting for the white line to end, looking back. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? We've moved to the inside so that Q can't get the move done, and we hold the position in the pits. And just like that, we get out ahead of the Mercedes, which couldn't have worked out better for us. Unfortunately for skater Reinhardt, he tried to pit for inters, but he ended up getting given hard tyres, which was far from ideal for him. And you can see there, we just ran a little bit wider. We ran 2 warnings already, so that ends up giving us a 3-second time penalty on lap 17, which is not ideal at all. But we end up catching up to Recce Justin, who was yet to make a stop, so he dives into the pits. Actually, Master Gaming and Tinky Winky also pitted. Sniper Hunter was staying out, which was very, very brave of him. But never mind, as we tried to dive to the inside of Tinky Winky. One thing I noticed after looking back on this race, actually I think I noticed during the race, I was very, very cautious when it came to overtakes. I did not want to make a stupendous overtake and end up taking someone out. So I was very, very cautious, and as we moved to lap 19, the full safety car was deployed. Now I'm not actually sure why this came out, but it did. Not much happened on the safety car. Master Gaming was using AI again, which, you know, it's really not what you want to do in this league. I don't think any leagues you should do it, because it just sort of, it's a bit cheating. You're just sort of lazy if you're using AI, but never mind. I'm not accusing him of doing it on purpose. He could have had a controller issue or something. But on the restart, we were trying to catch up to the back of Tinky Winky. We had a couple of lap cars between us and Pope, the leader. So we weren't going to be able to make the move on Pope. But we tried to go to the inside of Tinky Winky, and again you can see just how cautious I was through there. And we're actually inside McTavish right now, but he got sent spinning out of the race for some reason. I don't think he actually DNF'd, but yeah, just struggling on the restart. It's quite a distraction having these lapped cars, so I think maybe the F1 game should allow the lapped cars to overtake the safety car and try to unlap himself. But again, we just thought about the move on Tinky Winky here on lap 27, but again, we were just far too cautious. And that's something we're going to have to work on as the season goes on. And look who's behind us as well, my teammate. And as we make a mistake going into the chicane, I just knew it was best to let him through. He was clearly quicker than us, and if anyone was going to have a shot at the podium, it was going to be him. He was Season 5 champion, so I'm not going to mess with my teammate. We get on well, so I let him pass, and as you can see on lap 31, he got the move done on Tinky Winky, but what he needed now was a 3-second gap to TRM Comic if he wanted a podium. Because Tinky Winky didn't have a time penalty, but everyone else behind Tinky did have a time penalty, including myself. And so if he wanted to hold on to P2, he would have to get 3 seconds ahead of Tinky. But that was going to be too difficult. And as you can see, on the penultimate lap, on the final corner, we get a little bit of tap in the rear from Master Gaming in the Aston Martin, and that unsettled the car. We used a little bit of overtake to try and stay ahead of the green Aston Martin coming down to turn 1. We were trying to hold on to this P4, probably going to be P5 with the time penalties, but we just wanted to make sure that we got this position. But unfortunately, again, we were just too weak there. We banged wheels a couple of times, but eventually I couldn't stay ahead of the Aston Martin, and he got through. Now what that did mean is TRM Comic was allowed to overtake us as well, because we were obviously losing a little bit of pace on these final couple of laps. I don't think that was down to tyres or anything. I think that was probably down to confidence and just trying to bring it home. I'm not trying to make any stupid moves, which I thought TRM Comic was about to do into that chicane, but of course it would be a very ridiculous move to make, so he waited until the exit, and he was going to get the move done anyways. He didn't need to because time penalty, but he was pushing for a podium because Sniper Hunter was provisionally in the podium. Pope won the race by an absolute mile in the Haas team, and then it was Tinky Winky second because of Sniper's penalty, but Sniper ended up finishing third. I think it was about 600ths ahead of Comic in the end, which is quite impressive. But what a race it was to start the season, and hopefully Alfa Romeo would be in a good position. I mean, I think we would be second in the constructors. I'm not quite sure on that. We were running, of course, number 43 that race. You've probably seen on the graphics, but that was in honor of Ken Block, who we lost very recently. And I would like to end the video without recommending you any videos, without any music, and just a moment to remember Ken Block.